So, they have now, after a series of battles, found their way into the magma-covered, kind of obsidian, jagged caverns where the Emberhold, the Duragar fortress, currently resides, where they believe Lady Kima was. Upon finding a way in, unfortunately announcing their presence to the fortress itself, they managed to find Lady Kima in a torture chamber beneath Emberhold, save her, slay her oppressor, and now they have, after a tenuous alliance was made, as Lady Kima and their Mind Flayer friend Clarota are very much at odds, a very tenuous alliance was forged, and they now journey back up to the main basement floor, or main base floor, of the Emberhold proper.
Okay. I'm going to get low to the ground and peek in the door.
The armory.
All right. Peeking through, you do see, indeed, it is some sort of a smithy with two kilns or two anvils set up, a work table in the center, and there is one lone Duragar that apparently, in the middle of his work, has not been paying attention to any of the ruckus going on around, and is just in the middle of hitting some sort of long, thick piece of black iron, and it's just ting, ting.
Send Scanlan up.
Scanlan.
Huh? What?
My brother's calling for you.
You feel the oppressive force of Clarota's voice in your head simultaneously say, I can also accompany.
Ooh.
Good plan, Clarota.
All right. I'll step ahead and go invisible.
All right, so mark off your next
Yep.
visibility spell. As you vanish, Clarota also kind of waves his hand for a moment, and his image disappears the same way Scanlan's did.
Ooh, he does that too?
Apparently.
What did he do?
He went invisible.
Oh, went invisible.
Oh, look, that's scary.
Cute.
Yeah,
Alright.
sorry.
So the two of
We're
you...
walking down a hall. Nobody's watching us.
As you're humming to yourself...
Oh
You're fine. You're fine. You make your way down and eventually towards the back of where Vax is
I
pressed
can
against
feel Scanlan's flute pressing into my buttocks.
no! That's not my flute.
Okay.
I'm going to go around the corner to that other door.
All right.
And now I'm going to stab a Duragar in the neck.
All right. Go ahead and roll for an attack.
Just a simple
Natural 20, natural 20.
That's how you start the game.
Start the day.
It's a good day. I feel like it's gonna be a good day.
Alrighty. So, go ahead and roll damage. This is sneak attack because he was not aware you were there.
That's 28 times 2 plus 7.
26.
Splitting hairs here. That's enough. So
1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1.
you hear this tink, tink, tink. That's it. Without even a guttural noise, the dagger buries itself in the base of his skull. You see him just slump down to the ground.
I catch the hammer and I start going tink, 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 and wave the two invisible beings into the room.
Kima, do you see any of your equipment here that you wanted?
She glances around, goes and moves some of the piles by, turning over the room as quietly as she can. Not as quietly as you'd like, but quiet enough. No, nothing's here.
Can't you just take one of these things and call it a day?
She glares in the direction of your voice.
I'm invisible.
Right. This will do me just fine for now.
Oh.
But let's keep looking.
Okay.
Team, roll for trinket.
Oh, gosh. I just got what I got. Crap.
Not
What do
good.
I add to it?
Nothing.
The dex modifier. Trinket's
Right.
dex modifier.
Okay. Hold on. Yo, good. 11.
11. All right, so as you guys are making your way down the hallway, slowly,
I kind of clamp my hand over his mouth and tell him to shush.
you guys make your way down here. One of the Duragar glances over,
Oh boy.
mutters something to the front of his side, and
I
begins.
heard the bear. I start sliding my back down along
Oh,
the wall.
crap. I turn around and notch my arrow for them.
Both arrows impact his chest. The Duragar kind of steps back for a second, surprised by the moment. Looks really furious and begins to step forward, his size enlarging.
I knock him right in the face with the butt of my gun as he rounds the corner.
Okay,
I think that's...
so you still get the attack, but you don't have advantage because he's aware you're there. As he's running past, he looks over and glances and sees you at the corner of his eye, and he's preparing for the blow. So go ahead and roll your attack.
All right. Natural 20.
Look, it's flashing.
And
It's
it flashes. Yeah, it's a natural 20.
That's amazing.
All right, so go ahead and roll damage,
11 points of damage.
which will do it. As the Duragar sees you, is rushing past with the hammer, about to pull back and swing at you. You rush out from behind the corner with the blunt end of your weapon and just crack him in the side of the temple.
Girly scream.
What's that?
We're good.
Unconscious on the ground. Alive,
He's
but
not dead?
unconscious.
Oh, can I, so he's at a disadvantage, basically?
He is incapacitated.
So can I go up to him and slit his throat with my Mace of Disruption?
You,
To make sure he's dead?
if you'd like to.
Yes, I want to.
Okay.
That's really
She
bad.
smashed
Is that really bad, though?
Pike walks up and grabs the
Oh,
back
wait,
of the Durgar's
maybe my
hair,
guys
pulls
are
it back,
fucking-
and using the jagged edge of her Mace of
no,
Disruption, tears open the throat of the Duragar, which then spills
bad.
all
They're bad
this
guys.
blackish ichor across the ground.
Going renegade, folks. She's going renegade.
I just wanted to make sure he didn't come after us.
Grog
had a
looks
family.
impressed but also slightly worried as the man who grew up alongside you. All right, so that happened. Duragar.
And she says, "Okay, I'm gonna dismember the body. Hold on."
My torture weapons.
Okay, I inch up to the closed door on the left and place my ear to the door and listen.
Okay. Go make a perception check.
Yeah. Natural 20.
What?
Seriously.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
That one. Oh my god.
Don't jinx
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Don't knock on wood.
Don't.
I'm gonna kill all you.
That's
No,
This is gonna come back to haunt
That's
us.
not funny.
you put your ear to the side and you hear nothing.
do I sense any kind of? I'm checking for traps in the door.
Okay. It was kind of half locked, and as you push, it opens up into
Shove a hot dog.
a commode.
Yes.
Is there anybody?
There is nobody in there. It is a room with what looks almost like a bench with a series of holes cut into the bench. It's a
Well-
communal.
I'm tempted to close the door for a moment, but I will press on instead.
Check for loot.
So as you glance inside the room, you see what appears to be a great hall of some kind. There are large wooden tables. There is a fire pit in the center that has a number of mostly burned wood that is mainly just small darkened embers with a little bit of glowing yellow and red to it.
Classic.
There are stools scattered about the room. You can see there are remnants of some of a meal that hasn't been fully cleaned up yet on some of the tables, but the room appears to be empty. You do see a slight glimmer across the way in one of the tables.
Oh, I'm gonna go check it out.
All right. Move your way up there. Scanlan, you staying in that room?
I'm taking a dump on the guest bed. They don't see me, right?
I like walk by the door and see that
I'm
happening.
gonna get you in just a second.
Okay, but also just covering it up with the blanket after.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Well, you're in mid-process. This is all happening pretty quickly.
I'll go around
Looking at you
back
as you
behind
drink.
where Trinket and Vex
Okay,
just went.
because your little leg, you get about that far.
I'm invisible. It's
Okay.
just poop.
Tingle Nonsense carrying you. Then you pull her into the corner. Clarota,
Apparating
still
the
invisible from behind. Grog is eager to.
I'm staying in the hallway. I don't want to be.
hate this.
Okay. So, Tiberius, as you're backing up, both the Duragar turn around, immediately seeing you, and rear back with javelins,
Oh.
throwing them directly at you. You guys are actually kind of like pinched off in the hallway right here. So as you guys are all
Don't say
kind of
pinched off to me.
it's okay. So Pike, you haven't done anything yet.
Can I? Is there a door there somewhere right there?
You move around here. There is a door over here. Yes.
Do it, Pike.
Can't really do anything.
Yeah,
It's cool.
unfortunately.
Check it out.
Yeah.
All
right.
in. You can't
Open the
stealth.
door. It
Just-
is
Can't
a
stealth, so-
secondary guest room.
All right, now poop on this bed.
All right.
I'm gonna. If I do anything, I'm gonna make noise. That's why it's-
It is a guest room of equal design and dressing as the one that Scanlan, you are unaware, is currently fouling.
I don't know.
Indeed.
Maybe I get a sudden urge for some reason to just poo on the bed.
You can do what you want. Be aware. Pike as a character has her intent,
Yes, I know.
and if
I'm
the
just
more you
kidding.
stray from
That's
that,
not
the
what
more it'll have
That's
ramifications
not what I
for
want
her.
to do. I was just had this feeling that Scanlan was doing something, and I felt.
She can probably hear
Okay.
muffled from the
I
next
can
door.
hear you.
Anti-gravity.
No.
All right, as you guys are doing this, Scanlan steps out of the guest room, getting his pantaloons back on.
My invisible pantaloons.
Yes. You hear the footprints of Scanlan. You being still invisible, you essentially just you phantom
I phantom poop.
phantom pooped. Okay, so that's a
Did
thing.
I find anything in there, by the way? No.
You found
Just
a
relief.
you found a fun way to prank Duragar. Grog goes to start making his way in. As he does, and you go over towards the glimmer. The glimmer on the table, you look, it's just formless and kind of this weird
crap.
spark of light. It then vanishes, and the doors that you guys entered
It's a trap.
slam behind you. With Tiberius, Grog, and Keyleth all kept outside of the room.
No.
The rest of you guys, the flames go to darkness, and the entire room goes pitch black.
Oh shit. Oh no, we don't have
I motion to
light.
Grog.
In the darkness, I say, "Fuck."
Stupid.
You feel a presence nearby, and with a little bit of embers around the fire, you see, out of nothing, a figure step into view. That apparently was not visible but a moment before. A tall, lithe figure with long limbs, fingers, and a wrapping of facial tentacles coming towards your face.
It's invisible.
Shit. I see him. I'm gonna stab. I'm just gonna stab.
Before you get the chance to stab, you get a surprise attack from this guy.
Oh no! What if he sucks our
that
brains
guy.
out?
You take 17 points
Ooh.
of psychic damage as the actual presence of the tentacles pulling on your face. You can feel it's kind of grabbing your brain and trying to hold it in place, and you're currently considered grappled.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. I
So,
want. Is it
Now, guys, everyone roll initiative.
Roll an 18.
Okay. 18. Currently, that does hit.
I
Yes.
want to grab him by the calamari and stab him in the eye.
Okay. Go for it. You pull back and you grab with your offhand the cluster of tentacles in the front of its face and pull it down. As you do the inertia, you jam the blade into the other eye. As you do, you hear this last burst of angry scream inside your head before it goes dead cold silent and the mind flare falls to the ground.
I fucking hate these things.
We're still under it.
I will waltz in behind Grog.
All right.
I'll cast light.
Okay.
And now do I see that guy better?
You do, yes. You see now there is a mind flayer currently ducking behind one of the tables right now. You can see a number of your friends in the party are currently clutching their heads, silently screaming to themselves, unmoving.
There's another one of those guys over there.
Wait, there's another one?
Yes.
There's two?
There's two. The mind flayer now looking around and seeing the room lit up, seeing the entire group now in this room, looks around at everyone, puts its hands together and concentrates, and as it does, you see its form
No!
vanish.
Damn it!
A few seconds pass, you guys manage to shrug, you're stunned, and Orota as well.
Whoa, what happened? That's not good.
Yeah, they really know we're
They
here.
really know we're here.
We need to get out of this room then.
Let's just search the rest of this floor as quickly as
As
possible.
quickly as possible.
Hey,
What's that statue thing?
what's the darkness right next to me?
You tell me, Pike.
Is there a door there? What
There
that?
is a door right over here.
Oh, I'm gonna open it.
Okay. Alright, so you go ahead and open the door. It opens up into what you can immediately see is a chamber that is some kind of magical laboratory. You see in the far corner, hunched,
Oh,
a robed Duragar. And as you open the door, there's a slight sound, a click sound, and a jet of greenish fume begins to spray up into your face. Make a Constitution save.
oh God! I don't even know what that is. 15.
I look over to
15?
Do you have
Scanlan.
any?
All right. So,
I know. I said I look over there.
you take 11 points of poison damage. However, you could feel the poison forcing its way into your lungs. You manage to back out of the cloud in time and cough it up, and your general physical well-being, you resist most of the effects of the poison. However, this poison fume trap did appear to go off, and as the smoke slowly dissipates, you hear a chuckle across the other side. Scanlan, you're over there as well, watching this more plumes of these poisonous smoke.
If I get close to the door without going through it, can I see the guy?
You can move over and look. You can just barely make out his form. It is a dark room that is currently filled with a slowly dissipating green cloud, so it's hard to make him out.
Okay, well then I will just... if I can't see him, then I will just yell at him.
All right.
I'll yell with vicious mockery.
Yes.
I don't like you very much for poisoning me and my friends. You're a poopy head.
So vicious.
That is threatening.
Damn.
Okay, so
That does 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage for vicious mockery. All right. Is that how that works?
It's vicious mockery. It's an attack.
That's crazy.
That's like 80 points of damage.
It's a
Who said words
Yeah.
couldn't hurt
And
people?
bonus damage to his mother, wherever she may be.
Sticks and stones can break my bones, but
Yeah.
words.
Okay, so has to make a will saving throw. It's your DC. Rolls a 3. Does not. So as you shout out into this room, the currently fearful Duragar mage kind of glances his eyesight about, hears these words, and you see him rack his head for a second with sudden sense of self-loathing and disappointment. His hands drop, and it looks like for a minute his intent to begin muttering some sort of incantation is momentarily distracted.
Nice. Great.
As Kima hears you shouting all these curses into the room, Kima pushes past you. And pushes past you. You see Kima coming in the room behind you guys. Steps over the broken table, down in front of the circle, and grabs the mage by the front of his robe, pulling him into her face. The mage at this point is still kind of reeling from the fact that you managed to strike him so deeply in the heart of his hearts.
He's just not a nice man.
However, Kima, with a look of absolute death on her face, grabs him and pulls him forward and says, "Listen, where is the rest of your fucking army?" She's making an intimidation check.
Yeah.
He does not succeed in resisting that.
Yes.
The Duragar is pressed against the wall now. She's slamming him against the back of a bookshelf. And he, look, all right, they're waiting for you up there. All right, you're not going to survive this. At this point, the entire city's probably waiting for you on the outside of the fortress, and those that are upstairs are well prepared. Okay, your best chance of survival is laying on your arms and surrendering.
Oh,
Looking
hell.
out for your best interest here.
Kill this asshole.
Kill him.
Kima, which is still holding him against there, you can see her hand releases the scruff, and he just takes a deep breath for a second. Before he can finish exhaling, she goes immediately grabbing his throat and squeezing it extremely tight. As he does, you see his tongue delling out the side of his mouth as she's cutting off his entire air supply. She pulls forward and takes the great sword and begins to slowly push it into his abdomen. As she does, he starts screaming in terrible pain. You can see her just slowly pushing the blade through his body into the bookcase behind. As she does, she goes, "You're gonna tell me right now who they have waiting for us upstairs." As she begins to push it all the way to the hilt now, he's pinned up against the bookcase and probably a portion of the stone wall behind it. He's now got blood pouring out the sides of his face and down the side in front of his nose. The Duragar being held against the wall. Whatever you haven't killed, the army's probably up with the king himself. They're all waiting for you. And I hope they piss on your body when they're done. At which point she takes the blade and twists it. As she does, he gives it this guttural yelp. And his eyes just go blank. Blanker than the Duragar eyes normally are. Also, as a heads up, guys, we've had some people perpetually asking us about
Oh, I follow her.
the shirts that we made.
Yeah, what happens? What's going on?
You mean,
I think this is where it's nice.
these shirts?
That shirt right there.
Whoa.
Stand
Looks so good on you.
So we have it's temporary, it's very basic, but we have up, if you guys ever want to go to critroll.com, we have a limited run of those shirts currently available for purchase.
Very limited.
Very limited.
Like,
Once they're gone, they're gone.
Like probably less than 15 of each size, less than that probably. And
Yeah.
it was a small amount.
I was wearing mine earlier today, and only rolled 20s. Only.
Yes.
Apparently, it stayed for the first half of the session. So,
True.
but yeah. So anyway, check that out. Thank you guys so much, and let's go ahead and get back to the game proper.
T-shirts are sold out.
They're sold out?
They're now sold out.
T-shirts are
Wait,
sold out?
what?
We didn't even finish telling you people.
No, they're not.
Let us finish our sentence first.
Okay, so the limited run.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you guys.
20 seconds.
I guess we'll have to order some more then.
Mental note.
Thanks, guys.
So small.
We didn't know. We didn't know.
You do like 500.
We were gauging interest. I
We
guess
were
there's
gauging
interest.
interest.
I'm low, yeah, I'm pretty low.
Yeah, what are you at?
How many hit dice do you have left?
I know, I don't have that many left. I'm at I accidentally erased it, but I believe I'm at 30.
Oh yeah, I need to. I'll get on that.
Do you have any
Anybody
hit
else?
dice? Some.
What's
Not
everybody
a lot.
Because I can sing to you and give you an extra little roll.
I'd like you to sing to me, either in the game or on another day
Are
as
you
well.
Vex or Vax?
I'm Vix.
Alright, I'll sing to you, and are you going to use a dice?
Let me see
should
how
sing some, I
beautiful your song is.
Heal the Vax, make him a better elf, for you and for me and the entire adventuring band. There are Duragar dying. If you cared enough for the adventurers, you'd bring Vax back to help us with the stabby stab. Thank you.
All right,
Please,
so
vaccinate your kids. I mean, don't vaccinate them. Vaccinate
yeah,
them.
that's the difference. All right, so
The
So you
vaccinate.
get a 1d6 for that.
an extra 1d6 healing to anyone.
More than one. 3, okay.
I
Thank
hear
you. Lady Kima, our purpose here was to find you, but your purpose is somewhat greater than our own. What do you suggest we do in this moment?
As she stands up and she kind of holds the greatsword and swings it a bit. What I'm seeking lies deeper into this cavern. Whatever is at the heart of this illithid scourge, and she glances over at Clorotos in the back corner, hands folded, and there's a slight mental hiss sound in her direction. There's something far darker at the heart of this temple. I've seen it. And I have my thoughts and my ideas, but need confirmation before I speak of any doomsaying. However, the link between those foul creatures and the assault that's currently mounting against Craghammer lie upstairs at the center of this Duragar people.
Oh, here.
Here.
Here at where we are now. Yes, here.
The link between this Kavarn character.
Vox Machina, our years are short. Let's make good use of it.
Let's leave this decision up to Grog.
Grog?
Yes.
Absolutely not.
Grog's sitting there clutching his great axe.
I say, I haven't been able to kill much since we got here. Let's kill something. That's terrible.
Can I have some mail before we go up, Grog?
Oh, yeah, of course. And he goes into his bag of holding and pulls out his now half-empty cask, and you see him frown as he hears it clink around. He pours everyone a small drink to what is now an empty cask.
This could potentially kill us all.
Yeah.
Wait, Vox Machina.
Vox Machina.
I have an idea. I have an idea.
We're off the rails here.
Tell it to us, Tiberius. What's the idea?
Does it involve shitting on a bed? Eventually, actually, yes.
Aren't you empty yet?
Oh, yes.
This is what's going to happen.
All right.
Okay.
As far as we know, they're all Duragar up there, correct?
Mostly, except for the mind.
There's some mind
Except for the
flayers.
thing that's probably really creepy.
And
that's
another big
controlling
monster,
everything.
probably. They might have
Which I
the-
saw in a vision.
Oh, what's
Which I think that's what's controlling it.
visions?
Oh no, that's
that you have?
Kavan.
That's Kavan. With the
I think
horn
that's
of black.
I think we're
horns.
talking about the same
No,
vision.
he's at the other one. He's at the other one.
Okay,
Sorry. Read it wrong.
this is what will happen.
Okay. Tell us.
Those who can go stealth, we will creep up there. I will go invisible myself. I will be in front. You, closely behind me.
He has a name.
Vax! There you go. You closely behind me. And whoever else can stealth, follow suit. I will cast Alter Self and turn myself into their god.
Their god?
Kavan?
Oh, their god. Their god.
Yes.
But you don't know what he looks
Or
like.
into
I
that
am-
other thingy.
I absolutely know what he looks
I
like.
mean,
Into
Laduga.
Yes.
Leduger.
Oh, Leduker?
We just saw
That
his
guy?
damn statue.
Well, that's not Kavorn, though.
But
That's
the
why
Duergar
it's their god.
worships.
God.
That's smart.
Yes.
As I give my whatever the hell I come up with to say at that particular time,
Maybe you should think it first. Think it through first.
you,
This is good. This is good.
as soon as the Mind Flayers catch all in, and I turn to Clarota, and I turn to Kima, that's when all of you will strike at them first. The rest of you will wait till I shoot off a couple fireballs at the Duergar once they figure out that we're full of crap. Because I'm sure that's bound to happen, unless I am super convincing, which I hope that's the case.
Okay.
But I think that's our best bet, to keep a certain element of surprise.
Okay. So wait. Are you going to be their god, and I am still going to also be a crazy monster? Is like your pet crazy monster with our stealthy team?
I think
or
the only
just
thing
that?
better than their god would be their god on top of a giant scorpion.
Ooh.
I have faith in you, Tiberius.
I
Let's
have faith
run
in
with
scorpions.
this.
You'll be like
Between the two of us.
Xerxes.
Run with this.
Can I cast, because I've been wanting to use thaumaturgy? Thaumaturgy, which can make your voice 3 times as louder.
Yes. Can you cast
Can
that
I
on
cast
him?
that on him?
At the moment, he would be speaking, yeah.
At the moment he'd be speaking? Okay.
Oh,
So let's do that.
Yes.
Ooh, that's gonna be so cool.
Some theatrics.
All right.
Not my sprite.
You guys all make your way up and you're all squeezing into this tiny, tiny room. You're all shoulder to shoulder, essentially. You come up to the top area, there's a small box, and there is just a single stone door. You both glide your way up and peek around the corner. What you see immediately are 6 Duergar, all stationed in this hallway, guarding what looks like 2 large doors and entrance to this main chamber. And they're all just standing there, weapons ready, looking around.
Okay.
Wait, which is the main chamber that you just...
This big chamber here
Oh,
where
that
you guys
we
have
were
come
listening to
I
the
think
door.
Vax sneaks back to the group and motions Tiberius over. And Keyleth over.
Okay.
We're doing this?
Tiberius,
What?
you have the power of
Do you want me to shock him?
Oh, I have an idea.
Okay, I'll peek around.
Okay. Make a stealth check.
You have a +10 because of my pass without a trace.
You've got 6 Duergar in a row. Is there anything you can do that's
27.
all down the line?
That's when you see this long row of Duergar that are all kind of armored and ready, guarding the front of this chamber.
I cast Watery Sphere at the end of the last guy and create a giant ball.
Wait, you're doing it now?
Okay.
What does it look like, Vax?
So this giant water sphere
Stellan
appears
electrified.
on which side of the wall?
On the last guy.
This guy here?
Yeah, and I draw it towards us.
Vax is grabbing the gnome and tossing him out to the right, out here at the front of the group.
Okay.
And I stop at the last guy.
Sphere leaps out as the water sphere begins to pull
And
in.
while he does that,
Saving throws. What's your DC?
yeah.
My
Spell
DC?
DC? Yeah.
17.
And this is
Ready,
a
Scanlan?
dexterity save.
Yes.
All right.
No.
All of them fail.
Oh! This is gonna be cool. This is gonna be cool. It's gonna put them all in one spot.
I'm catching up
They were already in a line.
No, they're all in this
No,
giant
now we
sphere.
can electrocute them
I
and
electrocute
they're
'em.
wet.
There is now an entire clustered sphere of water that is containing a mismatch of Duergar that are swinging and
Lightning bolt!
Keyleth, can you... yeah, there we go.
call lightning. All right. So as Keyleth, you step forward out of the hallway. You bring your arm up, and there's this small cluster of dark clouds begin to form and swirl up in the top of the 20-foot hallway. As it swirls, you bring your arm downward, and there's a sudden crack of thunder, a loud blasting sound that echoes through the hallway. As the lightning strikes down in the center of the sphere, you see the water itself burst as the actual cacophonous blast of the lightning kind of loosely shakes up the aquatic sphere. However, go ahead and roll damage.
Do I get any more damage? Cause
You do an additional 2 dice of damage to each one of the Duergar because they are contained in the water.
Yeah!
So 5d10.
Correct.
Woo! 32.
Okay, so the sphere explodes. The actual stone on the ground, you can feel shake and shudder with the impact of the lightning storm. all but one of the Duragar are blown apart and scattered across the wall, Akira style, just against the walls.
All but one.
Clumps.
And
Well, one of them is still in the center of the sphere, now looking charred and burnt and eyes wide open with anger and frustration.
Scanlan, go.
I say, you ugly. You ugly. Your mama says you ugly. You ugly. You ugly. Your mama says you ugly. And I cast vicious mockery on him.
Okay.
Not much damage.
Rolled a 14 versus the DC, which I think is
19.
All right, how much damage did you do?
Just 5.
How much did you do? The total?
32 total.
After that. Okay.
Plus
so
5.
Somebody dies.
hold on. So, as the Duragar is currently held aloft in this aquatic sphere, half charred and burnt with pieces of his friends floating in the water around him, he hears through this kind of warbling sound, "You ugly, you ugly." And he sees everyone kind of step out in the hallway clapping with you, and he kind of looks around at himself, looks at his situation, and eventually just gives up and takes a big old gulp of water and drowns inside the aquatic sphere.
Yes! I shamed him to death.
Amazing.
What a terrible way to die.
Good news is, you guys royally screwed over 6 Duragar, one of which you shamed him to death. You have definitely, however, announced
Made
your
a bunch
presence
of
at
noise.
all.
Run back and go through the back.
Let's do it now.
Vax spanks Tiberius on the tail and says, "Get ready to deity."
Keela's form shifts as you see a bunch of arachnid-like legs sprawl out the side of her torso. Her form condenses into a dark chitinous shell as 2 giant claws form out the side of her body and a giant poison stinger curls up from behind. Tiberius kind of holds on during the transformation.
I'm gonna go back because if they see me, then they'll know something's fishy.
All right, the rest of you are here. So, you feel this kind of divine energy cascade around your throat, and you could feel like your vocal cords themselves are temporarily infused with some sort of divine presence. You've transformed yourself now into the visage of this Duragar deity. So,
Remember?
the doors
stupid.
burst open, and you guys come through. All of the Duragar stand there with their weapons at the ready. You can see in the back on this raised platform where the cloth stops, there is 2 thrones, and the top 2 Duragar sitting in the thrones at the ready. You can see 2 kind of lizard-like creatures in the back on chained leashes. However, all the Duragar that are ready to strike as soon as you burst through take a step back, looking extremely confused about what's going on.
Silence!
Whoa.
All of you, silence!
We weren't talking.
Who knows who I am?
Make a persuasion check.
Get it.
16.
Taking out that one.
Okay. The Duragar at the front take another step back, looking both frightened and odd. The one nearest to you takes his hammer and throws it to the ground and takes a knee.
Ooh.
Yeah.
As you
Well, it looks like there's one saved soul at this point in time.
At which point, 2 of the other ones nearby kind of look at each other and look back at the one who's on the ground. They put their hammers down and they kneel as well. At which point, in the back, you see the 2 throne figures stand up. One of which you can barely see in kind of the dim light side of your light spell that's currently gleaming above you. This long, almost touching the floor, black braided beard that drags right over this heavy set plate of jagged black iron metal. A giant sword in his hand. You're kneeling below this false idol. This silence!
As I cast silence, as I say silence, I blow a big plume of fire out of my mouth, and I cast control flames. And
So the light.
I don't cast control flames. I just do the fireball. I just do the fireball for a fact. I do control flames because that's a concentration spell.
Yes. All right. So you do the fireball. Where are you casting fireball, or just
Just
doing just a plume of flame? Roll intimidation check. So you rolled a
18.
18. Okay. You can see the this figure, which you're gathering at this point is probably King Murgle. Still holding his sword aloft, looks back towards his wife, who's sitting in the throne next to him, or is just standing up and kind of confused.
That's right, boy. I am Laduga. You know. And you know your deeds as of late might upset my rest.
All the Durgar are now looking over their shoulders back towards the king and kind of watching this transpire between the two.
All of you, lay down your arms!
You got 32.
Oh,
You guys moving in? Everyone else staying in the back hallway?
I'm not moving.
Okay, back hallway.
I'm like this.
As you guys push in further and further, the group that are kneeling move back in sheer fear and horror. At which point, the king takes a step down off of the throne area onto the next platform. Good. Weapon still at his side and says,
Men, I've trained you, I've raised you, I've fed you, and I've kept you alive. And I don't care for you to finish that sentence!
I cast Fireball. Right on him.
on the king?
Yes.
Whoa.
That's an attack right there.
Of course it is!
All right.
Yes, it is.
So,
What if he was gonna say?
the blast hits him, the 20-foot radius. That will grab everything in that radius, including you.
Oh no!
I know it.
So,
You got that.
go ahead and
It's all
roll
right.
damage. 8d6.
It's all right.
25.
25. Okay.
I'm sorry, 30.
Okay, good. So they all take the brunt of the damage, however, it does not do as much as you hoped to the group. All of them look hurt, but definitely not taken out of the fight. The ones that are in the front. The two lizard creatures, which you now have a better look at, you do see as familiar. They have numerous sets of legs, and though the chains hold them at bay, both of them glance up instinctually. So as you glance about the room now, you look over and both of these lizard creatures kind of look towards you. You kind of look back and forth, and there's this like gleam in their eye. Suddenly you feel you're forming and tighten up. Instinct. So you are considered restrained, which means you are you are at disadvantage to all your attack rolls and
Hold on,
ability checks right now.
I still have a bonus attack I can do before that happens, correct?
No, this is as it's happening.
I
Your
got
turn
it.
is still happening.
I got it.
This is all kind of a fluid moment.
Got it.
Things happen as they happen until initiative is being rolled, which is now.
Okay.
So everyone roll initiative.
Sneaky, sneaky.
Next up is Scanlan.
I step into the room, lining myself up with those two pig creature beast things in a line. Yeah. I cast lightning on the two beasts in a straight line.
Okay, so you pull back and you unleash a lightning bolt. Go streaking
Or
across
straight
the
ahead.
room.
If I can get the king, I can.
Unfortunately, it's just out of the line, Ray, but it does streak across and blast both of these now visibly basilisks
Do I have to roll
in
the
front
hit
of you.
first?
No, you hit automatically. Just go ahead and roll damage.
29.
29. One fails at saving throw, one makes it.
Oh, nice.
So 29 damage to one, and that will be 14 to the other.
And then
one gets the
for bonus action, I inspire.
This one here is the full blend of it. That one half is full.
I inspire Vax with a little ditty.
All right.
I want to sing a song of inspiration, of inspiration.
Alrighty, that ends Scanlan's turn. King Muradin's turn now. He then runs forward
What if you just like, just
Just a little taste.
little taste.
Yeah, just
and is going to take
a little for now.
his
a little for
turn
later.
swinging at Scanlan.
As he does, I sing, "Dodge that sexy attack, go white boy." I sing my what is it called? Cutting words? No, yes.
Yes,
what?
cutting words.
Cutting words, and I try to distract him as he's attacking me.
Okay, so you get to
What is it, a D8?
a D8 off of his first attack.
5.
5. Okay, well he rolled a 20, which brings it down, or a total of 20, brings it down to 15. What's your armor class?
14.
Tiberius, you're up. So it's your turn now, as you're now on top of the scorpion still.
I will put out my hand and give my little ring a rub and let out a fireball from it, right where no one else but these buttholes will get hurt.
All right, so I'd say probably a 20-foot radius. We're gonna put it about there.
What is the common word for it?
Buttholes, the official buttholes. So as you polish off the ring and release it, the bead of red energy streaks across, blasts into the floor. The secondary explosion. Giant fireball just bursts into the room. Go ahead and roll damage on that.
It's 23.
23. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna die.
The rest of these
while
Duragar
yours-
detonate.
Yeah.
Blasted away out of place. Just goes. Their bodies go thrown against the walls and the various pillars in the room. There's 2 pillars over there. They're kind of holding the ceiling up. The rest of them just go thrown about the room. The queen takes a bit of the damage, but seems to shrug off most of it. Also, Tiberius, make another Constitution saving throw.
10.
10, okay. You hear this clanking sound as Tiberius's now fully stone form falls off of the scorpion onto the ground beside you.
He's stoned.
Oh no.
Did you turn to stone?
Because the basilisk.
We've dealt with this before.
Yeah, we can fix
Yeah,
this. It's
basilisk
okay.
blood. We can fix it.
I think
So that-
I think you pee on the body and it cures him.
Can I can't. I have to go.
Let's try it. Let's try it and find out.
The basilisk now takes its turn.
Please,
Oh,
That brings us to Scanlan.
I'm next to the king, right? Near the king?
Yeah.
Over there?
Yep. You're
Okay,
right next to
I
him.
just make eye contact with him and I mentally tell him that he really has the urge to try to do a headstand. Lay down his weapon and he really just wants to see if he can do it.
Okay.
Suggestion.
Okay. What's your DC?
No, this
19.
Just through
Sure.
the hand count?
Through the handcuff. Through the handcuff.
Okay. That will be a 20, unfortunately. Makes a saving throw. As he glances back towards you with a look of confusion for a second, looks at his feet, and like begins to reach forward, and then steals his mind and looks up at you angrily. All right. Next up is King Myrddin, who is furious now. Both of his beasts have been slain, and most of his men have been completely torn asunder by multitudes of arrows and fireball spells. He, now growing in physical form on top of already the musculature he acquired from that potion, is going to make his 3 attacks against whatever is nearby. That's actually going to be... actually, it's going to be 2 strikes against you, Scanlan, since you just now tried to help him stand on his head, and 1 against Kima. So the first strike hits you for 21 points of slashing damage.
Still alive.
The next one hits you for 23 points of slashing
No
damage.
longer alive.
No, you
You're no
are.
longer alive?
That's-
Are you
you
out
know, I'm
unconscious?
Scanlan falls unconscious on the ground from the 2 strikes of the king. Okay, so as Kima rears back, her first strike comes down and hits overhead into King Myrtle's armor. As it does, it hits. The blade only goes about a few inches in, but then all of a sudden the blade heats up white hot and actually buries itself an additional 6 inches into his shoulder. He screams out in pain, reaches up and grabs the blade, and as he does, his hand actually burns the process. She pulls the blade out, around, and swings it down again, sinking another 8 inches into the side of his torso, this time with a giant arc of white divine light into the side. He looks like he's starting to bleed out from 2 of the wounds really heavily. The king is looking a little rough. That ends Kima's turn. Kima's going to try and make a saving throw. Kima pulls the blade out
Oh
and
no!
turns to stone herself. The queen's turn.
Oh no.
The queen looks over at Grog in front of her, kind of frustratingly, uses a bulk of sorcery points, puts her hand up towards him as he's pulling his axe back angrily. He fails his save, and he puts his axe back down and looks towards the rest of the group.
Oh no! Not again!
I call her glazed over.
No, no, no.
So
He's turned
easily
to stone
influenced.
too? No, he's under her control.
So that was her sorcerer points, her quick action. She then says, "Oh,
I'm dead.
we're not gonna die this day alone, and I won't die. My love, I'm sorry, but there's much more work to be done."
Oh.
And she raises her hand up, and you see this buildup of green arcane energy at her hand. She turns it towards the rest of the group, faces it up towards the ceiling, and releases this pulse of arcane green, ill-looking energy that blasts into the stone ceiling. As it does, the stone itself disintegrates in a large chunk,
Oh no.
and a glowing mass of seeping hot molten magma begins to pour.
Oh shit!
Alright, so
Someone collect some blood and
Scanlan.
We've got to finish
Okay,
this.
so you heal Scanlan. So you're healed 19. You're on the ground, prone, but you're conscious now.
Hi.
And you look up at Pike and smile, and you look over and see this large column of magma that's now cracking through stone and pouring into the throne
Is
room
there
again.
anything else we can do? Can I take anyone with me while I move?
I will say you can drag him. You'll be at
Can
half
I try
speed.
to drag Tiberius away from the magma?
You can try.
Okay.
Make a strength check.
Okay.
He's a dragon.
Let's athletics. We'll do athletics.
Big dwarf.
Athletics. 19.
Okay. So you grab onto Tiberius. You rush over. After healing him, grab and start dragging him towards the entrance at half speed. You manage to get him 3 squares. That's as far as you got.
Okay.
As you're pulling back,
Turn in the
the
next
king, as a reaction, gets 1 strike on you with his sword. That is going to be a 19.
Get out of here.
Your AC is 20?
It's 20.
So the blade hits you.
I just flip him off.
Yeah. The blade comes down towards you, but with a flash of divine energy, and your shoulder armor just gets deflected off to the side, and you glare at him out of the side of your face and continue to drag Tiberius out of the room. What are you doing?
And I will. Jesus. It's better for me to get out of there.
Get the king.
Yeah,
Get the
you might be able to
king.
kill him. He's on his last legs,
Yeah.
probably.
He's looking pretty rough.
Yeah, but Keyleth is right behind him.
Do it. Stab him.
You can attack him with your sword.
Hit him with a flute.
I am
It's
a
true,
tiny boy
Do
who
it
can only
anyway.
do.
He's at his
gonna
last
bip
legs.
him in
I
the
can't
nose.
cure
This is gonna
Grog.
be epic, Scanlan.
I
do
will
you got?
say that. I can't.
Come
cure
on, quick.
Do it,
I
Magma's
swing
pouring
my
in.
singing dawn blade at him.
All right.
I have a dawn
Dawn
blade.
blade?
Alrighty.
It's a dawn.
Donga blade.
It's just so lame. though. It's
Do
so
it.
weird.
Do it.
Really big and middle from us.
So, go ahead and roll for an attack. D20.
A natural 20.
We said he could roll a 20. We called it. Who called it? We called it.
So, roll the dice.
That's amazing.
Gone. He's gone. So that's 8.
You rolled an 8. Times 2 is
Times
16,
2 is
plus whatever the bonus damage is for the sword.
Critical hit.
Plus
no.
7.
Okay.
Plus
So-
the
so
dawn blade gets
16
another bonus attack at disadvantage.
It does. So you strike with the critical hit, doing, let's see, it's 8, 16 plus 7, 23 points of damage. Go ahead and roll for a second attack.
I've never hit anyone with a sword before. 5.
Can I give him a War God's Blessing and give him a plus 10?
You can.
Alright, plus 10. So
Wow.
15.
So, well, what's your total? You rolled a 5 plus.
5 plus
10.
I don't know. What am I adding? I've never
7
used a
again,
sword
plus
before.
7.
Add your proficiency modifier, which is 4 plus your strength modifier. So it's 5 to that, which is 10. Makes it 20, which hits. Roll damage on the
Boom.
Bilbo.
Kill him. Kill him.
6.
6 points of damage, or 6 on that.
On that
plus
one.
your strength, which is 1, 7, plus the Dawn Blade, which is, that's
Wasn't it
8.
23 or
So it's
something?
8
Oh.
damage on top of the 23. How do you want to do this?
As I draw back the blade, I say, "Oh, you should have stood on your head," and I lop it off.
So, as you say that, the blade itself vibrates with the sound of your voice, like the echoing of the song of Scanlan behind yours, and almost a chorus out of nowhere. The blade shrieks through the air, coming down, slitting across the back of his Achilles tendon. He instinctually falls to one knee, which is kind of the height level for you. As you do, you bring the blade around with a flourish, and take Morgul's head off his shoulders, which spins, tumbles to the ground, and rolls across
And
the
then
floor
I
into the magma. The Blackenbeard curling back as the rest of his
imagery.
face is melted away by the lava, which is now pouring
And
pretty
then make you
heavily
feel
into this room.
good.
It's now the queen's turn. She looks over at you, who's stabbed her the arrows in her abdomen, and she looks up at Grog and says, "We've got business elsewhere."
No!
And she reaches out and touches Grog. Both of them blink out dimension door.
we lost Frog again.
A very familiar,
Again!
very familiar purplish color, as you've seen you cast it. They dimension door out of the entire vicinity.
Son of a.
This is the second time we've lost.
At which
Rob.
point, the stone rocks crack on the column, and the magma now goes into full pour.
We gotta get
You
out!
guys have to get out of that tunnel. What do you do now? What's
We
the
run!
process?
We run!
Wait, we gotta get our stone friends out too.
So this is going into a skill
Tiberius.
challenge now.
Dun, 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 dun.
Okay.
Yeah, we all run out that.
Damn it,
No,
Grog.
we don't all run out. There's stone. We have to
We
drag
tracked
them
them,
out.
we tracked them out.
Who all stone? It's Tiberius and Kima?
Kima.
Okay.
Can we? Where's the magic carpet? Throw their asses on the magic carpet.
They're stone.
Grog has
You
the
can
bag.
pick
of
them
gold.
on the magic carpet.
It could be up to,
Bag of
it
holding
could be up
is
to 1,000
gone.
pounds.
Grog
Grog-
has
Frog's
everything.
gone.
Oh my God!
Wait, Featherfall.
Grog had the bag of
you're dead.
holding.
The magma now, as you're helping getting your friends out, you're pushing out. You push Vex out. Vex darts out. Scanlan manages to get out. As you guys are pulling Tiberius through, the hefty force of magma comes funneling down into the room and splashes across the floor.
Oh, that's a lot of dice.
There's a lot of dice.
A lot of
That's a
dice.
lot of dice. Oh,
Oh
stop
god,
that.
there's so many dice.
That is 18 points of heat damage.
Vax is unconscious.
18 points.
As you're pushing through, Vax, you fall unconscious as the magma is currently lapping at the back of your leg. The rest of you begin pushing out as you begin to realize that your half-elf
Can I
friend
grab
is
him?
currently melting in a pool
I
of
grab him
magma.
out?
Go ahead and make a strength check.
Oh, come on,
Not
Pike!
Pike's, this is strike at this point. This is pure adrenaline pushing through.
12.
12. You manage to start pulling them up through the hole that Keyleth made.
I'm going to assist. I'm going to.
Oh, wait, wait,
pulling
wait,
out.
wait.
I'm doing another ice shot to try and cool off the magma
I
around
send
it.
Trinket up
Before you get to
like
that, before you get to that point, as you're readying for it, 'cause it's a small space, as you're pulling it, giant bear claws come over and latch onto the back of Drax's armor. The grizzly bear begins to tense, pulling back.
Yeah, Trinket!
Make a strength check. That'll do it. Both of you manage to pull you out. You take an additional bit of heat damage. You are now at 2 failed saving throws. 2 failed death saving throws.
I'm a centimeter away from real death.
I'm going to pull a healing
As he pulls it
potion
out, you
as
can
a-
see most of his foot is melted on his right leg.
Oh, that's his best leg.
I pull a level 2 healing potion, just get it in his mouth.
You guys
Can I
drag.
heal him?
You can attempt to. Yeah, go
Okay.
for it.
24.
All right.
Yay!
Heals you. Your
Oh my god.
comes to consciousness. You guys are about 10 feet away from the base of the stronghold.
Foot come back? Or is it gone?
Nice.
Your foot heals up, but it's still
Ew,
burned.
Get that away from
Oh,
For the time being, until you can take some serious physical rest,
Fuck that.
your movement is reduced by 5,
That seems fair.
me. No
and
stealthy
and your
brother.
stealth rolls are currently disadvantaged.
Oh no.
You all are just on the outskirts of the stronghold. You can see now elements of the windows of the topper floor are beginning to glow with internal light as the entire stronghold is currently filling up entirely with molten rock.
Oh,
We're
I
gonna
left my
make our way.
keys in there.
You're all resting for a moment off to the side. Grog is
Grog?
missing,
Grog is missing.
and you all take a moment to realize that somehow you all managed to survive this, mostly.
Sort of.
We didn't
However-
find the vault.
You didn't find the vault, didn't find Kima's stuff, and a number of escaped individuals from this are out and at large. We'll end today's
God.
game on that note.
Percy,
I don't
I
know.
need bad news to be my other foot now.